first, shout out to Cody Strimple. Thank you for being a supporter. We really appreciate it. Nick's just here.
I appreciate it. What is this? Wait, Cody, what?
Strimple.
Strimple.
Yeah.
It makes me want a strudel.
Oh, that does sound good.
That sounds so good. But thanks for being a patron.
Yes, thank you.
We all go a little mad.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Horror Hour. It's the place we discuss, we debate, we disagree on all things horror. I'm one of the hosts here, Yutaka. Hello. And today I'm joined with... we see how this episode's going. I'm joined with Nick Says Boo. Hey, Nick.
Hi, or hey. I don't know what happened, but you know when the little girl from Mean Girls, she just turns around, hey, I love it. I love it. I cannot get it out of my head. Every single time I hear somebody say hello, I'm like, hey. We were at a concert last night, me and David, and as we were leaving his building to get into the lift, like his front door person looked at David and was like, hey. And then I just looked and turned around and was like, hey. And then David was like, Nick.
Okay, that's pretty funny. Oh my God. Well, anyways, today should be an interesting conversation. I'm really excited because we are going to talk about the most critically panned horror films that we love. Because let's be serious, a lot of horror films in general are just, they get low ratings critically, and same thing with audience scores. They typically, like a B is good, or even a C plus, which shocks me. But hey, it is what it is. So, Nick, I'm going to let you go first. Tell me, what is a critically panned film you just love?
So I don't even know if like a lot of audiences love this movie, but I have always loved this movie, and I've always loved the concept of this movie. Let me figure out what year this came out. 2002. Wait, not 2022. Hold on. We're gonna do it. Oh my God. It's like early 2005. Okay. White Noise from 2005 with Michael Keaton.
Oh, I'd watch anything he's in, but not that.
It is. I love that movie. I get like now watching it as an adult, I can see certain things why people wouldn't like it. Specifically, I think the special effects don't really hold up very well when you see the figures or whatever at the end.
That's fair.
But for those who maybe don't know what White Noise is, so it covers the concept of EVP, what is it? Electronic voice phenomenon.
Okay, gotcha.
So basically, like that's like a real thing that people do, where they think that they can, contact ghosts or whatever through like the TV static or record, like it's like an early Paranormal Activity thing, like just recording different like sounds and shit. Usually like on the ghost hunter shows when they go around with like the little meters and stuff like that. It's very similar to that. But yeah, the general synopsis of the movie is Michael Keaton's wife, who is like a best-selling author. She disappears, and then they find her body, and he is, overcome with grief, and then he discovers EVP and tries contacting her. And they warn him very early on, don't do that shit because you're going to invite other things that you don't intend to invite. And that's exactly what happens. But I think that the movie is actually quite creepy. I think that the movie, it kind of reminds me of The Ring in the sense that everything is very blue, which I really like that for certain movies. And
I think even the box art's like that. So yeah.
The box art is really, really cool looking. But yeah, I mean, the ending is kind of a little bit, but in general, I really, really love the movie. It, who does it have in it? It's got like, it's the chick, Deborah Kara Unger, and the only reason that I know
from
her,
Silent Hill.
Yes, she was the dirty bitch in Silent Hill. But oh my gosh, I definitely recommend that people watch that because I really, really like
Okay.
it. And the second one has
They made a sequel? Direct to
like
video, it has to
direct to
be.
video, but it has
Okay.
Nathan Fillion in it. He's the lead in
Oh.
that one. Caleb from Buffy.
Supposedly, people don't like him in Hollywood, but, you know, it's just a thing.
Well, you know,
I'd hit it. Anyways,
hormone
okay.
suppressant. Hormone suppressant. This just
I
mean
look, I
Haka's
just
horny
don't touch.
24/7.
There's nothing wrong with that. There, you
That's
know,
why you're so horny. We need to like drop you off at a bathhouse or something.
absolutely not. That is like, oh my god, no. No.
Seek discomfort, Utaka. Seek discomfort.
No, I'm good.
Seek
Because the only thing that I
discomfort.
would be thinking is like, God, George has probably already been here and worked through half the room.
Well, are the walls sticky?
Yeah. Let's see. No. Nope. Nope. Anyways, all right. I'll talk about mine, which I am. I love this film, and it is. I will fully stand by. It is a terrible film, and people typically don't like it and don't even seek this one out. It is a Japanese or a remake of a Japanese film. Um, I said critically panned, so put your arms down. Like this is truly critically panned. Like it is. Like when I look at the list, that's why I was shocked that it's
Wait,
number
can
one.
I guess which one it is? There's either two things that I think it could be. No, maybe it's three things. It's either Shudder,
Nope.
which I think is the one where like there's like a ghost like on his shoulders the whole fucking
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Horrible. Pulse.
Oh, I hated that one.
I think that's with Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
And then One Missed Call.
Yep, it's that one. I
Bingo.
love that film. It is so terrible too, by the way. It is awful. It's PG-13. It came out in 2008. And the problem is though, they wanted to do some creative or fun kills, and they just you couldn't like do crazy ways, so you really good. Like the intro kill was so like that was just bad. Like pulling her into the water. Like you do not just like what?
I haven't seen that movie since it was in theaters.
I've seen it like 10 times. I seriously, when I tell you guys, I love this film. It's so bad. And basically it is Beth Raymond witnesses the death of two friends, and she knows there's more at play because they end up getting a voicemail of them in the future screaming into the phone dying, so it's capturing their death, and they're the entire time trying to prevent it or see, you know, as with most Japanese films like this, what grudge, what ghost, what story, like what trauma caused this, manifested this. And it is poorly put together, this film, overly acted, and I just love it. I absolutely do. And I recommend that, or I recognize it is a bad film, and I'm okay with that. It's a guilty pleasure. And once it dropped on Max, and I was like, yep, I'm watching it. I watched it 2 times in a row.
When that came out, because I've seen both like the remake and the original,
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the remake has the better ringtone.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Because I had that as my ringtone when that movie came out.
Shut up. No, you did not.
Yep. I was obsessed.
Okay.
Obsessed with that movie when it came out. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, but I was still, I still watched it. You know what movie that kind of reminds me of? This isn't on my list because I can't speak to this because I haven't seen it in so long, but I do remember people hating it and me kind of like, it's not so bad. Do you remember the movie The Unborn?
Oh my god, I love that one with what's her name? Odette Annabelle, or
she kind of looked like she was like an off-brand Megan Fox.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Love is Blind right now. I don't know if you watched that show, but
I watched the first season because it had one of the most attractive human beings on the face of the earth.
the 6th season, there's a girl, she's like, well, sometimes I get mistaken for Megan Fox.
Hold on. You gotta know. Megan Fox, Love is Blind. Is her name Chelsea?
Yeah.
Let me see this.
And honestly, I'll tell you what, she is actually a very pretty lady. But what? No, ma'am.
Absolutely not. In no way, shape, or
And I will say, I watched the reunion, and she was a very good sport about it. She's like, "No, no, I get it now." Like, but when you see who she was also up against, but anyways, it was still really funny.
No shade, but she does not look like Megan Fox.
No, she doesn't.
But yeah,
But
I
yes.
remember in that movie there was the only thing that I remember was like I think it's like a dream, and she's jogging, and it's like during the
Mhm.
day, and all of a sudden there's like a dog in the middle of the jogging path that has like a mask on, and it's creepy as shit.
Well, there was another sequence too in that like kind of like sent shivers.
Oh,
Was it the didn't
the
somebody like on all fours or like crawling really weird with a knife?
that that does happen, and then they kind of had,
Ooh.
which I appreciated, was kind of like a play on the whole, mirror trope that
Mhm.
they do, where like it happens for like a couple times where you think that there's going to be something in the mirror, and then she opens the mirror and it's actually inside the like cabinet.
Oh, oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, I did
But,
like.
but
See,
yeah.
I did appreciate the on board, but yeah. So, anyways, one missed call. One of the worst rated horror films. So that's really amazing. So, all right. What's your next one?
So my next pick is Urban Legends Final Cut. It is not a good movie. Let me make sure that we're aware of this. This is not a good movie, but it is so fun. It's got like the cast is great. Ava Mendes. Could not tell you the name of the lead chick for the life of me. It's got
Oh, she was in
the
the show House. I
mhm,
know. Yeah, I can't either.
um
Jennifer Morrison. I think that's it.
that sounds right. And then oh, I forget her name. She was the girl that gets killed when she gets hit with the arrow and falls into the dumpster in
Oh my
Valentine, and she's
god.
also in Legally
Oh, what's her
Blonde
name? Is it Jessica Caulfield? No, it's not it. But I know, yeah, I love her. I wish she
and White
acted
Chicks.
more. Yeah, I wish she were in more movies. Her energy's funny.
Same. She's
Love
so
it.
funny. But like it does have some fairly cool kills. And
Mhm.
specifically, there is a scene in that movie that scares me to this day, but where they do a play on the waking up in a bathtub
Oh, that was a
full of
good
ice with your kidney
scene.
removed. And it's a little spoiler alert for if you haven't seen it. But this scene, she wakes up and she goes to like she goes and locks the door, and the killer's trying to get in through the door, and she opens the window, and she's about to like get completely out of the window. Killer comes in, pulls her halfway back in, and she ends up like cracking the window, and he uses that to decapitate her. But the gross part is, in order to get her back in, the incision that he made to get her kidney out, he sticks his fingers in and just rips down, and what? It is nasty as shit. But that would probably get you hard because you're a gore harm. So
Mhm.
ugh, not
And
fun.
then he like
What?
gave the with the kidney or whatnot
He
to the
feeds it to the
dog.
dog. Yes.
It's no, it's a really good scene. It's very effective. I enjoy it, but I will also say that movie was, uh, although the ending was camp. That ending that was camp.
Oh, because the
I did
queen
love
shows
that.
up,
Of course.
which
So
I'm gonna Rebecca Gayheart. I get to meet her this year. I'm so excited. She's gonna be
are
at
they
one of the
doing a Jawbreaker
conventions.
reunion?
No,
Oh,
it's gonna be her, Julie Benz, and then I'm also meeting Mia from the Evil Dead remake, and the one that we all love, Devon Sawa. And I'm gonna be like, "Do you remember retweeting this clip?" I'm gonna show him the clip.
oh my god. I almost wanted to go to that one with Jane Levy. She would just be so cool to meet.
Yes, yes. Oh, also in Urban Legends, I just forgot. It has what's this guy's name? Hart Bachner, whom I had never seen, or I mean,
His
I
name
have
sounds
seen it, but
familiar.
I didn't remember. He is like the main asshole guy in the original Terror Train, the one that like sets up the prank and everything. Um,
Oh.
yeah, so he was in that, and then also I could not mention this movie without mentioning the fact that Queen Loretta Devine is in
Oh
that
yeah.
movie. I love her so much. But yes, it's definitely a very entertaining watch. Maybe not good, but it is entertaining. I like it.
Okay. All right. Um, one that I will say that I do enjoy watching because partly also um I'm a gore hound and this movie is bad. It was I think one of the first WWE films. And that's
I think I know what you're talking
2006 See No Evil. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, they didn't need to make a sequel. The sequel is actual trash, like really trash. But this one's, just like garbage, So I wouldn't say it's not a dumpster fire. And I love Kane and just the look because he is a very like ominous presence, and he's just going through this group of young petty criminals, killing them in nasty, violent ways. It is very low budget looking. Like some of like the CG that they're doing is just not needed. But some of the kills are just they're fantastic. And I do love it. Like the one girl who just won't shut up. Ooh, I felt that in my soul a little. Well, he takes a cell phone and like shoves it down her throat and she chokes on it. Love that.
Wow.
It's so good. It is so good, but the storyline is silly. Like he's a sexually repressed kid or was, and his mom like locked him up in a cage, and he's ultra religious. So I was like, oh great, these tropes.
I
And of
love that
course,
we have
Kane doesn't
movies.
speak because he can't really act.
Kane. I love that we have these like that's very similar to the remake of Halloween, where it's like a little kid gets put in a place where they would not be working out, they would not be getting 3,000 calories a day, and somehow they grow up to be this big f***ing hulking bodybuilder.
Right?
Like it makes no sense.
Agreed. And he's clearly also, I think in the intro it even shows that like he's missing part of his brain because he got shot in the head. It's crazy. It's wild. But it's a fun movie. I do enjoy watching it, but I recognize, yeah, it's not well made or acted.
I have only seen this movie one time, and that was when it first came out. This was not one that I connected with. Although I do see, despite what you just said, the second one has Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel in it.
I know, and that's why I'm really upset that it sucks.
I mean, to be fair,
Good
Danielle
people
Harris
can be in
hasn't
shitty
been.
movies.
Danielle Harris hasn't been in the most critically acclaimed movies.
No, agreed.
Wasn't she in like one of the Hatchet movies?
Okay, but I loved her in those. Yes, she was actually good in those.
I'd need to rewatch those. I've only seen those once as well.
But yeah, how about you? What's your next one?
Let me see what year this came out since we want to be, professional. So mine is from 2003. It is Darkness Falls.
Oh, Liam loves that one.
I saw this in theaters. I love it so much. It has Anya from Buffy in it, and I absolutely love her. And I'm so glad that she's starting to do more things again. Well, she's on WandaVision. But yeah, like it's a movie about the Tooth Fairy, and the Tooth Fairy is scary as shit in this movie. The opening scene is genuinely terrifying to me. So like they have to. She can't come into the light, so the running around with flashlights and shit. And the kid in the beginning, his parent gets killed, if I remember correctly. And I just remember he's hiding in the tub in the bathroom with the light on, and the camera pulls back into the hallway, and you see that she's floating just above the door, waiting for an opportunity to get in. Oh, it is so creepy. I love that movie, and it's got like the design of the Tooth Fairy is genuinely really really cool looking.
I did
She's
like
got like
that.
a little mask thing. Anya is really the only one that gives a good performance.
Is that the real reason you like it? Is just because of her though?
I do. I mean, I like shitty movies, so
That's fair. Same.
But no, I mean I love her, but yeah, it is. A lot of people don't like that movie. I don't know why. I think it's good.
I am not the biggest fan of that film, but I saw it in theaters because I'm ancient, and I don't know.
I just said that I saw it in theaters. Don't call me old.
Shoe fits.
Not
But
your
yeah, I
size
don't know.
6.
When I saw it in theaters, I just wasn't. And honestly, that might also partly be to with like the audience just wasn't into it as well. So it just felt like we were all there just like "Mm." So maybe I need to rewatch it. Let's put it that way. I'll say that because I have not rewatched it in a very long time. I just remember that experience for me. But
Yeah, I mean, I would.
I love Emma Caulfield, and I completely agree. I'm very happy that she's starting to do more stuff.
Thank God. Yeah, because like since George has now been going through Buffy, he just watched like her intro episode, The Wish,
Mhm.
and he said like in the reaction, he's like, "Why does she look so familiar to me?" And I sent him a text message. I was like, "If you've ever seen Darkness Falls, that is her. If you've ever seen WandaVision, she plays Dottie." And he's like, "That's it." I was like, "Yep." He's like, "Oh, I wish she would be like in more of Buffy." I was like, "Oh well,
Uh,
just you wait."
okay, all right. I guess I have to pick one now. And I was trying to see like other really critically panned because some of these I'm going through this list and I think so is Nick, and some of these I'm like I don't really watch these at all because they're not good.
Mm-mm.
But one movie that was critically panned, and I'm a little shocked, but I've I f***ing loved this film. And wow. I it is. I mean, yeah, I see because I remember playing the games. It is a video, it's based off a video game, and that's 2002's Resident Evil.
I love Resident Evil. I don't care what
I
anybody
I
says.
love
I
that.
love the majority of
It's
them.
so much fun. It really is. Like I get that it was somewhat low budget. Some of the CG was not great, but God, Mia is it Mia Mila? I'm so terrible. Mia
Mila
Jovovich.
Jovovich.
Jovovich. Okay, sorry. I'm so bad. Sorry. But it is so much fun, and she's kind of a badass character. I think they couldn't really bring the other characters to life. Um, and love that she was just badass. One, I remember seeing it in theaters, just having so much fun. Like the zombies were creepy, the kills were disgusting, and I actually cared about some of the characters.
Yeah, I
Shocker.
think people I think a lot of it was just because fans of the game were unhappy that they didn't try to just adapt one of the games.
I and
But
I
then we got a version where they attempted to adapt one of the games, Welcome to
Ooh,
Raccoon City, and well,
that was
like,
bad. That was horrible. That was awful. So I totally get it.
yeah.
And to be honest, I look at the I even loved like the I think that was throughout the movie, like that kind of green like the tone like in The Ring, like the color scale somewhat is kind of like that in Resident Evil where it has that like that what greenish blue hue
I
throughout
feel like
a good
that's
portion of it.
more present in the second one. The
Okay.
second movie, everything is very blue.
Yeah. But I just I don't know. I felt like that movie really helped set up what it did. Um, but I as a fan of the games too, I really enjoyed it. Like I way to take something and spin it into something else, and it turned out to be really good. I think when it originally was announced and like the plot started to leak, I was really annoyed. But then when I saw it, I walked out of that theater, and mind you, there was only like 4 people in the theater. I was like, that was a good film.
Yeah, and
And but then
which
yeah, everybody trashed it. And I was like, well, that's unfortunate for them because I still love it.
what's your favorite entry?
Oh, because I love the character of Jill Valentine, even though they didn't really do her justice. So I would actually have to say, um, Apocalypse is when they bring in Nemesis,
Yeah, that's the
right?
second one.
What's the third one?
Extinction, that's the one in the desert.
And Claire doesn't come in until the fourth one.
No, Claire shows up in the third
Extinction.
one.
Okay, it's Extinction.
That's
I
my
actually
favorite too.
I think one, I think her look is so much better. Like I loved when she had the two blades. Oh my god.
My favorite scene in the entire franchise is when the convoy is being attacked by all of the crows, and then
Yes.
she just shows up and like uses her power to completely eradicate all of them with the fire. And I'm like, oh, I'm hard a little bit. Oh, it was so good.
Yes.
It was so good.
And,
Now,
like the way it just was panning around, like that whole
mhm.
sequence honestly was so enjoyable. But that absolutely, and also, I know, I'm horny for everyone, but that had a hot cast. All
The
right.
third one, oh, it had Ashanti was in the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Mike
Um,
Epps, and then the guy from I always
Oded
forget his name.
Fair.
Yeah, I just refer to him as the guy from the Mummy.
That's fair. Also you had the guy who played Luke Cage in Mortal Kombat, the original. He was the guy who climbed up the Vegas's
Oh
Eiffel
my
Tower.
god, I never realized that was him.
That's him. That's Lyndon Ashby. There we go. I knew his name was
Oh,
gonna
you
come
mean
to me.
Johnny Cage?
Johnny Cage, yeah. Sorry.
Because I was
Yeah,
like Luke Cage. I was
not
like,
Luke
isn't
Cage. I'm so
he
sorry.
in?
Yes, Johnny Cage.
I never I always thought like he looked familiar. I never put two and two together that that was the
Mhm.
same person.
And so I
Yeah.
don't know, there was something about that film, and honestly, if we're gonna be real, all of the Resident Evil films were critically panned.
Well, I would say that after the third one,
It
it
goes
started to become a
downhill.
little bit understandable because
Yeah.
like I had to reach out to Sergio and Cody, and I'm just like I'm like I could already see it even after you guys watched the first one that you guys are trying to like look at continuity, and I was like stop. And I was like because by the fourth one they completely just pretend like other events in the movies never even happened.
Yep.
The final one completely retcons the second
Everything.
movie.
It felt like,
It's
oh
so
my
dumb.
god, that final one, I remember sitting in theaters and I was just like, this is dumb. It's I'll say better budget though. It was a nicer looking film, but I was like,
Mhm.
this is not good.
I will never forget the one because I just recently rewatched them all again. I will never the one it might be Afterlife where Alice is in a plane with Wesker and he removes her
Oh,
powers for some reason. Like it's
yes.
never even an actual plot point within the movies. Removes her powers and then they immediately crash head on into a mountain and she gets up and walks from the crash completely fine
It
and then
doesn't make any
continues
sense.
jumping off of buildings and fighting zombies and having superpowers despite not having superpowers. Ah, it's hilarious.
Oh, I have one other. Do you have any more?
Yes. The other one that I would pick. So apparently, yeah, I mean, this was critically not acclaimed. But I still know what you did last summer. I now listen. I love bad movies, but I fully acknowledge like why movies are bad. The entire plot point about going to this island because they win a contest by guessing the capital of Brazil, and they guess incorrectly. But it's the fact that nobody around them ever told them that is not the correct answer. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Not one single person. Wait, and she says it was real because she saw in the back of a bag of coffee beans. But I love it. I think it's a really great movie. There and it has I'm not the biggest fan of the score, but the sound design is really really cool, specifically in the opening credits as she's walking into the church and you're hearing sounds like from the previous movie and then they have
Okay.
Helen scream and it like echoes and then the title card comes up. It looks so good. So good. And then Brandy, Miss
Oh my
Carla,
god. Why
one
is
of
she not in
the
more horror
MVP of the
films?
movie. She's coming back. She's in
I know. An
an
A24 film.
A24. Yeah,
Good
so I'm excited.
for her.
Speaking of which,
Uh-oh.
there is an interview that is now on the YouTubes. And it was like 4 days ago because I just watched it yesterday, where they were interviewing on some red carpet Jennifer Love Hewitt, who confirmed that that there's a new one coming out. She said that she hasn't gotten the script yet, but that it is confirmed and she is going to do it. And she said it is going to like focus on a new generation. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be like her kids or something like that. But I don't know. I'm very, very curious because I'm like, well, it can't be Ben Willis as the killer because the man would be dust by this point because he was
I
already like 50 something in the second movie.
let me look because I don't think they. I was always curious. Now I'm going to tell you right now, the series was trash.
It was an exercise in just inner strength. Me
To get
trying
through
to
it,
get through that series. It was
right?
so ungodly bad. There was not a single character in that show that was
Redeem. Yeah. Okay. So
horrible.
no, I was curious if they would reference anything about that. Because obviously none of like the names, like it was completely different, but I'm curious. But my God, that show was terrible. And people were upset, like, oh, but how it ends, it could have a great second season. I go, I wouldn't want to see it.
Right. No, no, no. That is one of
And
those
it's a
things
shame because
like
it had a good cast on some of the cast was good.
some of them. But I don't know. It just like those types of things piss me off when they try to capitalize off of a name only when it has absolutely nothing to do with the actual property, and that is a prime example of that.
Yeah, well, and I think they kind of were alluding to something a little like the series at the end with how they were kind of set up who would probably be the killer in the second season. And I liked that, but I was like, that's not enough to say that everything I just sat through was good. I shouldn't have to get through what 10 episodes for you to make me go, "Oh, well that's good."
It, ugh. I think the only from memory, the only thing that was kind of similar to the actual movie was the fact that they're going on like the actual accident itself because it
Yeah.
was like on the cliffs or whatever next to that's it.
Yeah. I think the last one, which this shocks me by the way. I thought this had good reviews, but apparently, well, I mean, Roger Ebert, I mean, may he rest in peace. Um I used to watch Siskel and Ebert too because I was such a stupid kid. I was nerdy. Um I did not realize the movie Constantine was not a good film.
Like with Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Oh, I've only seen it the one time, but
I
it
love
sounds
it.
about right.
I it sounds about right. Ouch. I did not realize that it was a critically panned film. I absolutely love the film. I think it's stunning. I love the cast. I mean, Rachel Weisz, Tilda Swinton, Keanu Reeves. I I love it. Like that was a dark, twisted film with some really lovely visuals and some pretty cool fight scenes. I did. I truly enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot Shia LaBeouf was in it or Buff or what. I don't care. I don't
Shia
mind him.
LaBeouf.
He can yeah. But I mean, it has some whoa, I didn't know like Jamin Unsu, is that how you say his name? I'm so terrible. I apologize, y'all. Was in it. Gavin Rossdale.
Let me look.
What? Who the
Constantine.
wow. I did not know
I
he
heard
was
that
in that.
they're doing another one.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves is like, I'm game. And obviously, I think I'll be fully honest. That man, I think he's a great actor. He's done a lot in terms of when it comes to stunts and all that. Were it not for John Wick, though, I don't think he would have been like this as in demand. Like that kind of brought, not that he was like on the outs or anything, he was still doing good, but that put him back on the map in a huge way. And I
Oh
I
yeah.
guarantee that's partially why when there was rumblings of Constantine 2, people were like, would he do it? And he's like, yeah. And they're obviously so. I would go see it, honestly. I loved the first one. I thought it was dark, gritty. It's a DC property that not many people talk about. And I think it could do really good if in the right hands. But yeah,
Also,
it was poorly rated, but I loved it.
also, if you want something that's very like heartwarming and uplifting and makes you feel really, really good, and it has Keanu Reeves in it, you should totally watch Hardball. It's perfect for the whole family.
Oh God, what has David done to you? Hardball?
Hmm. It's a baseball movie.
Wait, though.
Just kidding.
Hold
Bring
up.
tissues because you're gonna cry.
Oh my god, wait, I love this cast. Hold up. Oh my
It's
god.
a really good movie, but it is a movie that is
Whoa.
going to make
Leanne
you
Lane,
want to
Michael B.
cry.
Jordan, John Hawkes. Oh my god, DB Sweeney. God, he was still around. Interesting. Okay. I remember when this came out because I was working at Hollywood Video and I remember having to do the new release wall. And they had a
Yes,
bunch
Hollywood
of this.
Video.
Okay, wait, Brian Robbins, as in like the guy who does a lot of the CW shows. Oh shit. Wow. Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
It's a good movie. They used to play it like when we would have movie day at
If
when I was in high
you
school.
want a heartwarming movie, I've got a film. Doesn't have Keanu Reeves in it though, but it is cute. I actually genuinely mean this is a really good movie. I'm not even trying to plug myself on
The
this
Gift.
one. Hold up though. You loved that movie though, right?
I love that.
Was I?
It
Yeah.
was so good. It was so good.
That's a fantastic film. Max and Molly in the future, or Molly and Max in the future. It's a sci-fi rom-com in the vein of When Harry Met Sally, and it's really good.
I just watched When Harry Met Sally for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, all right, fair. Ouch.
I can see why it was like a big thing for a long time. I loved the orgasm scene.
Great. Honestly, so the dialogue in that film is great.
It was a little bit like, okay, can y'all just get it over with? Like clearly you want to be together, just do it and shut
that's
up.
The purpose. Like build that up. You know, I know. But all right. Well, I think those are some really good movies that critics hated, but we loved. And case in point, Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, and on this channel interviewed the director and the producer and the guy who plays Christopher Robin. Told him point blank.
New Christopher Robin.
Yes,
Robin. Right?
I told him that you know what, Pooh was in the right for what he did.
Also, given the topic, two special shout outs: Halloween Ends and When a Stranger Calls. I would be remiss to not mention those because y'all know I love me some Halloween Ends.
Yeah, and I love Stranger Calls. Honestly,
I
the
love
original,
that movie.
See the remake. Honestly, that if that's a real house, like I don't know if they.
So there was a person that maybe, I don't know, like 6 months ago that I was chatting with on some dating app, and we were talking about like scary movies, and I mentioned that I like movies that maybe aren't critically acclaimed or whatever, and he goes, I don't really watch scary movies, and he goes, but my best friend, her family owns the house that the When a Stranger Calls remake was made in. And I was like, I'm willing to date you just to meet your friend and get invited for like lunch because I want to go into that house so badly. I love that house. I want to date.
Well, wait, I would too. That's fair. That's fair.
Like one day where we go to the house, I would do it. But yeah, that I
wonder if it still looks the same.
I'm sure that with a little sleuthing, I can figure out the address and kind of Google Map it.
I mean, that the setting creepy as hell, and the house was gorgeous.
And I did like the fact that they focused, like they took basically what was the opening scene in the original movie and expanded it to a full movie. As a person who has now within the last month watched the original and the sequel, I will say that the original, I do like the original, but I prefer the opening and the ending. The middle section where he's the detective is it's kind of a slog to get through.
Yeah.
Now the second movie, When a Stranger Calls Back,
it's not great, but it does have one scene that is creepy
where he's hiding and blending into the wall.
That scene was that
camp.
But that scene was
that scene was insane. But oh my god, the other day I tweeted some of the fans. I tweeted And I was like, this is quite possibly one of the worst acting performances that I've ever seen in a film. I loved it because I love bad acting, but I'm like, it was so bad. Tell me why somebody tagged in my tweet, tagged the actress from that movie. And it's not like she's like a well-known actress. It's not like she has a ton of like subscribers or anything like that. And like, but she does actively tweet. So I'm like, there's no way that she did not see this. And I'm like, y'all.
That is horrible. That's mortifying. That's shady. That's
That
actually
is
not.
so
It's
shady.
not
I had to
shady.
delete
It's
the
more of
tweet.
you are being a dick, not you. The person who like that is it. Like
Here's the thing. Here's
that's
the thing.
ignorant, man. That is ignorant.
People try to claim that when like because I've like when I'll mention somebody maybe doesn't have a good performance, I've had people come for me saying that I'm being rude and that I shouldn't talk shit about people's acting. And I was like, here's the thing. Acting, these actors, it's a job. Everybody else who has a job gets has performance reviews where they analyze your performance and tell you whether or not you're doing good or bad. I was like, it's no different for an actor. If an actor goes on to behind a camera and gives a performance and it is not a good performance, it is not being rude to point that out.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that's the whole that's film criticism.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Dakota Johnson, she can act. Not Madam Web. I don't know what the she was doing in that movie.
So no, I totally get it because yeah, and the only time, well, not the only time, but a majority of the time when like a bad performance is easily overlooked is if it's like a runaway hit. People don't talk about it then. But let's be serious. Bad acting exists and we're allowed to talk about it. And you can be critical of it and not be an ass. But more importantly, we're allowed to voice our opinion. Don't go out and like tag the person. That's ignorant as shit. Like I remember I said something about a movie that I was watching I tagged from the horror hour because I actually enjoyed it. I found it to be really funny. And you could just tell like they were enjoying making this film. And I was just like, oh, and I said the things that I liked about it and all this. Somebody then, because I was saying positive things, which you'll notice a lot of critics too, they'll tag those people, the film, whatever, if they're saying something nice. It's clicks, I totally get it. I've done that. And then tell me though, like you can see when somebody's tagged and all that, but somebody came in and then just like roasted the film, and I was like, sir, I was like, okay. But and the roasting was more of like just ignorant though, like not really I was just like, I was like, maybe don't do that then. Like I was like, they're tagged, please don't. But I mean, that's my fault for tagging, I guess. But I was just trying to get clicks and views.
Rude though. But people are just rude though. Like I won't say the person's name, but we all know that there's a certain franchise that I really, really like.
Yes.
And I'm loose acquaintances with one of the actors in that franchise. And it really upsets me sometimes because people will come into the comment section of the videos which feature that actor, and that actor watches my videos, and they'll be
ignorant shit,
dragging him. But not like here's a critique, dragging him. And I have to delete the comments because I'm like, y'all are just being rude. Like, there's a way to critique something without being rude. Like, these are still human beings that are going to
you don't have to cut them down.
Right. But yeah.
Unless it's unless there are certain films. Yes, you have every right. Bunker Game, cut those down. Absolutely.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. We'll end on this because if Liam were here, he would voice his frustrations as well. The purpose of the Bunker Game is about people who LARP, live action role play, but what they're live action role playing, and they're getting paid to do this, they're live action role playing as Nazis in a bunker. I'm dead serious. And it's about the end of like World War II, but Germany's winning kind of thing. And that's what this live action role play is about, like this like party in this bunker, and then something happens, so they evacuate the guests, and they're trapped in there with some spirit. And I'm like, you want me to care about any of these people because they took a job to do that? No, absolutely not. And then it's poorly made. The kills, like somebody dies off screen from falling. Like, and not like they fell like this huge thing. No, like they tripped on something and just hit their head, fell. It is horrible. And like again, I'm not gonna care about any of these characters because they thought let's live action role play as this. No, absolutely. It was stupid, dumb. That film I'm gonna cut down because I don't know why it was made. I don't know who thought it was a good idea. It added nothing to the conversation in general. Like that's like if you add something to a like to bring like
that's how I feel about the new Mean Girls. Horrible. Horrible.
I love Renee Rapp though, so I don't care what you say. We could talk. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. But anyways, you know what? This has been a super fun discussion. We're going to have a cute, quick little after hours. If that's okay. As
Sure.
I'm asking. Yeah, we're going to do that. Or it could just be me. You guys don't want that. But yeah, so Nick, where can everybody find you?
Your local bathhouse. No, just kidding. You can find me all of my socials. It's all Nick Says Boo. So we got YouTube, Patreon, Twitter/X, Instagram, and then the Horror Hour.
The back pages. No, just kidding.
That's right. That's right.
And yeah, you can find me here at the Horror Hour. You could also find me at Osaka, however you want to say it. I don't really care, but that's where you can find me. And I do also have started a new channel. I'm gonna start talking about some other projects and interviews maybe in and outside the horror genre. You'll see an interview coming out with Guy Busick, the screenwriter of Abigail. I'm really excited about that one. Honestly, I'm excited about that movie, but that's a really fun interview.
Did he write Scream 7?
Oh, I don't know on that.
Wait, let me see. Hold on. I know that this is completely off topic, but let me look up Neve Campbell because when she posted the picture of the script.
But anyway.
Yeah, written by Guy Busick.
Oh no.
Hey, he's got to work too. Like they have to get jobs too.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't gonna bring up any of that. Way to be. But anyways, yeah, that's where you could find me.
We'll see you next week when we have special guest Melissa Barrera. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. Neve Campbell's gonna be on the show. So.
Absolutely not. Kidding.
Bye.
But anyways, yeah. Bye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.